I want something. I'm afraid I cannot have it. I'm afraid something may be wrong with me. She, whoever she is not the problem. She's actually the mirror. You're not thankful for the far you've come, for the much or the little that you've achieved, and you're busy comparing your life to other women. Comparison is just a signal. It is pointing you towards something deeper. There is always some scarcity thinking that says, hey, if she has it, there is less for me. I remember looking around at other women's lives and asking myself, my goodness, what did I do wrong? I was comparing myself to women whose relationships were still intact then, women who seemed financially stable then, women whose lives looked the way I thought mine should have looked like. So until one day in my own healing journey, something really just shifted in me. I realized something very simple but very powerful.
Welcome to the Rise and Rebuild podcast, where we break unhealthy cycles, heal what still hurts, and rebuild. If you're a woman of color, a firstborn daughter, a single woman, or a single mother, this is your space to finally breathe again.
Hey, my friend, welcome back to another episode of the Rise and Rebuild podcast. I am so glad you tuned in today. How are you, my friend? I hope the good Lord has kept you well. He has definitely been so good to me, and I'm always thankful for that. So before we jump into today's episode, I want to start with a little housekeeping as we normally do. Last week, I shared that the She Heals program was open for enrollment for you guys. I have had to make the tough decision to postpone it. A few things just popped up in both my professional and personal life that need my urgent attention right now. And if you know me, you know that when I work with women in my coaching programs, I like to be fully present. I don't want to show up halfway. I want to give my clients my full attention, my full energy, my full support. So because of that, I am moving our March cohort to May 17th. So for the women who've already signed up, my friends, I am so sorry for any inconvenience this may cause, but I promise I'll make it up to you. I truly appreciate you and your grace and your patience with me. And well, if you're still thinking about joining and you haven't signed up yet, well, this might just be your sign. You now have a little more time to do that. All right. The second thing, I want to say thank you so much for everyone who's been subscribing to this podcast. I see you and I truly appreciate you, and your support means a lot to me. Now, if you're listening and you haven't subscribed, just go ahead and do that. And if there's any episode that has ever helped you or spoken to you, I want you to go ahead and share it with another woman who might need it as well. All right, my friend? Thank you. Now, what are we talking about? Today we're talking about comparison. We are talking about it because I know so many of us have struggled or struggle with it, but we don't always say out loud. Specifically, how do we stop comparing ourselves to other women? Because if you and I are being honest, comparison has a way of stealing our joy, our peace, our confidence, and we do it more often than we even realize it. Listen, you can be doing very well in life. You can be making a lot of progress. Your life looks just fine. You can be growing and healing. And then you look over at someone else's life and suddenly, my goodness, you feel like you're behind. Maybe she, whoever that is, seems more successful than you while you're still here trying to make ends meet. Maybe their marriage looks perfect, picture perfect, while you think your relationship is not, or your relationship did not even survive. Maybe their business is growing while yours is closed or is even hanging on by a thread. Maybe they look confident and put together while you yourself are feeling very lost. And before you even realize it, guess what? You start questioning yourself. Am I doing enough? Am I behind in life? Is something wrong with me? What is it that I'm not doing? Why does it seem like everyone else has it all figured out while I'm just here trying to keep up? So, my friends, if you've ever felt that way, you're not alone. I've been there. Most of us have been there. And today I want us to talk about that comparison. Why do we do it? How does that affect us? And how can we begin to break free from it? You cannot fully walk in your purpose and fully live your life while constantly measuring yourself or your life against someone else's life. But before we go any further, first of all, let us ask ourselves, why do we compare ourselves to other women in the first place? I think a lot of us believe comparison is a character flaw, like something is wrong with us. Like we are just being insecure, we are petty, we are jealous, we are ungrateful. And so we continue to shame ourselves for it because we think it's a character flaw. But here's what I want you to understand. Comparison is just a signal. It is pointing you towards something deeper. There's a desire you have not fully named. There's a wound that has not been fully healed. There's a fear that is living underneath the surface that we need to talk about. When you see them or her or whoever she is for you, and you feel that familiar sting, that feeling is not pettiness. It's not jealous. It is just your heart saying, hey, Lydia, I want something. I'm afraid I cannot have it. I'm afraid something may be wrong with me. She, whoever she is not the problem. She's actually the mirror. And what the mirror is showing you is something inside yourself asking for your attention. And for many of us, this pattern started way earlier in our childhood. Many of us were compared as children. We were compared as siblings, as classmates, as cousins. And so we learned very early on to measure ourselves against others. So we grew up believing that life is a comparison game. And so we fell into that comparison trap early without knowing it, before we even had words for what was happening. It was modeled to us. We learned it. And now, as women, we are still carrying it and competing and comparing with each other. And here's the other thing. You are seeing people's best moments out there. They are put together moments, the moments they choose to share. They don't share the behind the scenes. I am telling you, people only share what looks good. But you're not seeing the anxiety they live in. You're not seeing the relationships that are almost falling apart behind the scenes. You're not seeing the months in their businesses that's not doing so well. You're only seeing a flourishing business. You're not seeing the days they didn't even want to get out of bed. Nobody broadcasts or goes out there showing the hard stuff. So you're measuring your full, your messy, your real life against the performance out there. And so, my friend, this is a game you will never win. And it was never meant to be won. There's no way you will win the comparison game when somebody is not posting their real life and you're comparing your real life with their setup life. So underneath comparison, there's usually a belief, a deeply rooted belief that there's not enough, that maybe you're not even enough yourself. There is always some scarcity thinking that says, hey, if she has it, there is less for me. If she's successful, my chances are shrinking. If she's thriving, what does that say about me? So scarcity keeps women competing when we should actually be connecting with each other. It keeps us resenting other women when we should be cheering for them. It keeps us looking sideways instead of us looking forward and supporting another woman. And most of us did not come up with this belief on our own, as I said. We inherited it from homes where love felt conditional, right? From systems that told us there are limited seats at the table, from a world that has spent a long time teaching women to shrink, compete, and prove themselves. But you know what? There is room. There is more than enough room for you and I. And you, right here, right now, in this season, with what you have and what you are still becoming, you are enough. You have enough. Your life is fine as is. And I want you to start shifting from scarcity, that mindset that is keeping you there and making you compare yourself with other people, to enoughness. Because that is not just a mindset change, that is a healing process. So let me get personal with you a little bit and tell you a story for a moment. Because I have lived inside the comparison trap myself, and it cost me a lot. As you know, some of you have known, 10 years ago, I became a single mother, not by choice. I did not choose it. The relationship I was just ended. And just like that, I was standing in a role I had not chosen for myself. I was raising children on my own. What made it even heavier was that I thought I had done everything right. I'd gone to school. I finished my 4-year degree in college. I got a decent job. I moved out of my mother's house to build my independent life, for the kind of life you imagine when you're young and hopeful. And then one day, it all fell apart. And I remember looking around at other women's lives and asking myself, my goodness, what did I do wrong? Because when you follow all the rules and the script, and then life doesn't cooperate, your mind starts looking for answers. And let me tell you, comparison is the first place it lands. I was comparing myself to women whose relationships were still intact then, women who seemed financially stable then, women whose lives looked the way I thought mine should have looked like. I was comparing myself to everything, and it was costing me a lot of peace, a lot of joy. My confidence was way down. My ability to see what was actually good in my own life was not there anymore, because now I was so focused on what I didn't have. I could not even see what I did have in that moment. So until one day, my own healing journey, something really just shifted in me. I realized something very simple but very powerful. I actually have it good. I may not have everything, but I have more than I've been giving myself credit for. And every moment I spent looking at other people's lives was a moment I was stealing from my own. And so I decided, you know what? This is not it for me. I can no longer compare myself to other people. This is my journey. This is my path. And so maybe you're there. I want to get practical with you because I don't want you to just feel inspired by this episode. I want you to actually do something different. So, what do I want you to do? The very first thing you want to do so that you stop comparing yourself is name what you actually want. The next time comparison shows up, don't shame it. Don't feel bad about it. Just study, feel it. Ask yourself, what is this showing me that I desire? What need is this pointing to? Use comparison as information, not condemnation. If you're comparing yourself to other people's lives, what is that telling you about your own and what is it that you want? Because that is information of the thing that you truly desire. Okay? The second thing that I want you to do is audit your consumption. What are you consuming? Go through your social media today, my friend. Stop following content that is making you compare yourself against something that is not your life or your reality. Just mute it. Just stop going to their pages. That's not your life. That's their life. If there are accounts that consistently make you feel behind or not enough, I want you to mute them and follow them. Take a break. I don't want you to consume content that is chipping away at your sense of self. You're not being petty. You're not being jealous. You're just being discerning. That is wisdom. If something is making you feel bad about your life, just unfollow it. Unfollow that account. Okay? The third thing, separate your timeline from their timeline. Just because something hasn't happened yet for you does not mean it's not coming. It is coming. Stay in your lane. Trust your pace. Trust God. God's timing is not running late. It is coming. Just separate your timeline from their timeline from your timeline. Okay? The other thing that I think we miss a lot is that we are threatened by other people's success that it leaves us feeling very bad about our own. So the next time you see a woman doing really well or doing something you want, how about you just think of it like she's showing you something that is possible for you as well. Don't be threatened by it. Let that be proof that you can also get there. You can also get there. And while doing that, celebrate them. Practice just actually celebrating people's wins. You can't celebrate another woman's success while at the same time waiting for your own success to come. And when you do that, you're always reminding your spirit, hey, there is room for more. There is room for me too. I'll get there. All right? The other thing is practice gratitude for your journey. Gratitude will ground you. Look at where you've come from. Look at the things you've had to overcome. So instead of focusing on what is missing, focus on what is already present. Focus on the journey. Focus on the things that you've overcome. Focus on the life that you've built so far. That would help you stop comparing yourself to other people's journeys because what you've overcome is not what they have overcome or what they will even ever have to overcome. Gratitude again opens the door for abundance. So if you're not thankful for the far you've come, for the much or the little that you've achieved, and you're busy comparing your life to other women or other people's lives, guess what? It locks that door to abundance and you will stay stuck where you are just because you keep on comparing yourself. So practice gratitude for your journey, appreciate your journey, appreciate how far you've come, and only then will you start seeing the goodness in your own life. Again, comparison is not a bad thing. It is a message. It is information. It is just telling you, what is it that I need? Do I need to be even more thankful for what I have? Do I need to celebrate another woman? What is it that I need to stop consuming in these streets if I keep on comparing my life to them? You're not behind, my friend. You're not behind. You may not have everything you wish to have, but you have it good. Trust me. I just want you to have a moment to yourself. Look at your life. There is so many good things that you have. Only if you stop comparing yourself to other people will you see them. I hope that sits and lands for you. And then I hope you go live like you believe it because that is the truth about your life. All right? You're not behind. You're not losing. You're not less than because someone else's life looks a certain way from the outside. You are on your own path. You have your own assignment. And the moment you stop measuring your life against someone else's life and start honoring what you actually have, everything will begin to shift for you. I said it earlier and I will say it again. You may not have everything, but you have it good. I want you to say that to yourself. Okay? Thank you, my friend. Thanks for joining in today. I hope to see you in the next episode. Take care. Bye-bye.